I was literally promoted 3 months ago, and then last Friday was my last day.
My case is not different from anyone else's. Don't lay anyone off from the top to the bottom. Even how hard you worked and what work you have to show for it, it will not matter to anybody.
This is surely a difficult day for around 200 families of local Kroger workers who found out that their efforts are no longer needed.
In 2025, Americans are losing jobs at an alarming rate, and the ripple effects are everywhere. Families are scrambling to pay bills, massive cuts are sweeping through industries, and the so-called strong economy is starting to look like a house of cards. In this video, we'll break down why layoffs are accelerating, who's really behind them, and what it means for workers who are already stretched to the limit. Before we do that, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
I just got laid off from my job a couple weeks ago and my severance just hit. Let's talk about it. It all started when I got screwed on my company bonus. I was underpaid by about 20 to 25%, depending on who you ask, of what I should have been paid. And me being the little prick that I am, I had to ask around. So I asked my boss, and he assured me that everything was paid out correctly. Nothing was taken off. But what I don't think he expected was the CEO and CFO to come out in town hall meetings and say the bonus percentage that we hit. That really f***ed the argument. So naturally, I asked him again, and this time he decided to cite performance reasons. Well, that's interesting. Why did you not mention that the first time I asked you? Why did you not say anything last year? So he did confirm that I was underpaid by about 25% of the target that we hit. But what I find really interesting is that they were going behind people's backs and manipulating numbers and their bonuses and what they paid them without actually telling them. And presumably, that wasn't just going to the bottom line. My portion likely went to somebody else. But anyway, a week later, I get a call thrown on my calendar with HR and my boss, the CMO, and I was laid off. But to be clear, it was not retaliation. It was not retaliation. But anyway, I think one of the big lessons here is corporate greed is very much alive and well, and no matter how valuable you may be to a company, they might still do shit and not tell you about it. And if you push the wrong buttons a little too much, you're going to get fired. But again, not for retaliation, because of performance that they didn't tell you about.
Oh, we all know that was for retaliation. Nobody here is doubtful of that. And that is why you give zero loyalty to any company, because they have no loyalty or respect for us. Some of the comments say, hire a lawyer, join a union, bro. I didn't blink once. This is the reality of what we are all dealing with. Contact the US Department of Labor and file a complaint. My company laid off 70 people last Tuesday. Thursday of the same week, they sent 243 executives plus their spouses to Disneyland for 5 days. Oh, that is infuriating.
Every time I think I'm not going to get emotional, I end up getting emotional. But basically, this is my second time in the past, I think 3 years, being laid off from, honestly, somewhat of a dream job. And while I'm so incredibly grateful to be given opportunities to work in really cool industries and with really cool people, it is draining. Not only is it really draining working corporate sometimes, but working in a field that tends to have a lot of layoffs, because even when you have a job, it never really feels that secure. And the irony of it is I'm a recruiter, and I have been for the last 7 years. So I literally work in hiring, and I work with people who either lose their jobs or are transitioning jobs all the time. But when it happens to you, you still don't really know what to do. And even when you know that the layoff is not your fault and there's not really much you could have done, even in this last role, I was literally promoted 3 months ago, and then last Friday was my last day. So even knowing that there's nothing I could have done and getting feedback that there's nothing that I could have done, it's hard, because a part of you is really proud of your work and where you've gotten in your career. And so it feels like rejection when it gets taken away from you, and that part really sucks.
And that's what's so hard about everything, is that people should be proud of their work, but when there's no job security, no loyalty, it just puts a damper on everything, and it's scary. Like she said, it's very scary. Some of the comments say, getting promoted then fired should warrant a severance. I'm getting laid off tomorrow after almost 14 years at my company tomorrow, and seeing how heartless they are about this is crazy. I just got my dream job and I was so excited, and a day before my first day, HR called me and said I don't need to come in because they took the offer back. They sent me the equipment and everything. I'm so lost. I was terminated from another job 5 months ago too. Life feels so unfair right now.
This is surely a difficult day for around 200 families of local Kroger workers who found out that their efforts are no longer needed. Those disappearing jobs, all part of a company-wide round of layoffs, involving nearly 1,000 job cuts across the country. Kroger's interim CEO, Ron Sargent, describing the cuts as a meaningful number of associate reductions, adding these decisions are never easy, but we know thoughtful yet difficult choices are necessary to set up our organization for continued success. That quote goes on to say, while we announced role reductions today, we continue to grow and reinvest those savings in areas that drive our strategy and benefit our customers directly in lower prices, new store growth, and more jobs in stores.
Does anyone believe that Kroger is going to lower their prices for their customers because they just fired all these people? No. So get this. The Kroger CEO made $15.4 million in 2024, while the average Kroger employee only made $34,000. That means the CEO made 450,000% more than his employees. That is some financial whiplash on a historic scale. Now tell me what the CEO did to earn 450,000% more than his average employee. This is a robber baron, in my opinion.
So, I just got laid off from my finance job. The company decided to cut costs, and apparently my 4-year bachelor's degree from really good business school and graduating on the dean's list, plus passing my Series 7 on the first try, which not many people do, didn't meet the cuts, so they decided to make the cuts with my paycheck. Yay me. Now that I have extra free time until I find something better, which I will find something better, because everything happens for a reason, I will now reevaluate my life and maybe start a TikTok page.
Some of the comments say, so discouraging. It seems like an epidemic of layoffs. Sorry this has happened. You sound super bright with a great education. Onward. Same, and apparently my master's degree is worth crap too. Dean's list and school name really does not matter after the first hire. Welcome to the corporate slugfest. We are a corporatocracy with feudalistic behavior. You aren't going to find something better these days. Shoot downhill, not uphill. Doesn't matter where you go to school. It only matters what they think they can split your work up onto others and get away with. Sorry that happened to you. They only care about themselves.
Good morning. So, life is it comes at you quick. So, just a normal Wednesday, everything's going well. And you know that feeling when you think something is really wrong, okay? Because no one's going to tell you to hang up with your client and go to a conference room, and then you see all of your colleagues in the same situation. So, maybe this is a blessing in disguise that I've started this TikTok, because this world is so temporary and things just happen so fast, and you are not valued anywhere you are, especially in corporate America. They have laid us off. We get laid off in a few months. They were nice enough to let us go for the rest of the day. Very kind. But I don't care. The way they spring things on you is not fair. And I know not to expect more from corporate America, but you're forgetting these are people's lives, their livelihood. They depend on everything. So, I mean, luckily my husband, I'm under his benefits for the most part, but this is not right. This shouldn't be like this. And whatever severance they think will make it, just remember about 40% of that, if not more, is taken out in taxes, or you'll have to owe it back. So, I honestly didn't think today would start out like this, but here we are, and why? I don't want to say why and be selfish, because there's so much worse going on in other people's lives, but I've been trying to be so good at work and take care of everything and be the best I can be, and I've realized it doesn't even make it work. Like, it doesn't help me. My case is not like different from anyone everyone else says, don't lay anyone off from the top to the bottom. Even how hard you worked and what work you have to show for it, it will not matter to anybody.
Ugh, poor thing. My heart breaks for her. But what she said is not wrong. You have to take care of yourself and do not prioritize your company because they just don't care about you at the end of the day. We are so expendable to them.
Okay, well, I just got laid off from my company and I'm really, really upset. I thought I was done crying, but I don't think I am. I worked at my job for almost 3 years. It was like my 3-year anniversary in the next like 2 weeks. And I just really loved my job and I'm just really sad that I don't have it anymore. And I'm still like processing and like just in full like panic mode because I'm like, I need money, I need job security, like obviously I need to pay rent next month. Like I'm just really like freaking out and it's just not a good feeling. I feel like my main like source of sadness is just that I really enjoyed going into my office every day for the past 3 years. Like I've gone through a lot while having this job and I would just always tell people like I'm so thankful to have this job because it's really like pulled me out of like some dark times, like because I knew I had to go into my office. And the content, like the work of the job, I really enjoyed too, and I just felt like I was really doing a good job, and so that like really sucks. But yeah, I don't really know. I'm so sick of crying on the internet. I'm sorry. I've never been laid off or anything, so I don't really know like what to do or say. I'm trying to like keep myself busy, and it's only been like a few hours.
Some of the comments say, being laid off is awful. Be sad today. Tomorrow is a new day to reset and find a new job. Same. I was at my last job for almost 3.5 years and was laid off in the spring. Unemployment has helped a lot. This just happened to me. I was at my job for 3 years and at the end of July, I was let go. Thankfully, I have 3 months severance. I'm trying not to get discouraged.
We begin with breaking news. In just the last 45 minutes, Deere & Company announcing another round of layoffs. Deere has confirmed a total of 238 people will be laid off. That includes 115 people at Harvester Works in East Moline, 52 people at Seating and Cylinder in Moline, and 71 people at Foundry in Waterloo, Iowa. Deere says the layoffs are due to decreased demand and lower order volumes. The company notified employees today, but in the same statement talking about layoffs, Deere also said it remains committed to U.S. manufacturing, saying it's investing nearly $20 billion over the next decade to upgrade and enhance domestic manufacturing sites. And this all comes one day after Deere's third quarter earnings call. In that call, the agriculture company said President Trump's tariffs will cost Deere an estimated $600 million this year. Deere says the tariffs have already led to more than $300 million in cost, lowering net incomes for this quarter. Yesterday, Deere's stocks dropped 7% after the news dropped.
Some of the comments say, if farmers are going broke due to tariffs, how will they afford John Deere machinery? South America is buying cheaper and just as good equipment from China at 20% of the cost. We all know the CEO can't make it on less than $25 million a year.
Hi, Nani. How are you?
Hi, Nicole. I'm doing good. I'm just staying busy. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Definitely a busy time. So, I want to hop right into it. We've been reconstructing parts of the firm by adopting AI to alleviate some of the high operational expenses. Unfortunately, that's led us to make some difficult decisions, including the immediate termination of your role. This is not based on your performance as an employee. This is a firm-wide decision impacting hundreds of employees. I know this is probably hard to hear. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
This is definitely a shock considering, how much effort, I really put into this company. Will I be receiving any severance?
Yes, you will be receiving 2 weeks severance. We know it's not a lot, but off the record, as a friend, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. We were literally talking last week about those AI apps like Prep AI where people are swiping to apply for jobs, so you can definitely check that out. Also, jump to my next call, but my colleague here, Mark, will be on the call to go over offboarding. Take care, Nani.
Take care.
She's like, off the record, let me know if I can help in any way. Yeah, let me keep my job, maybe not give it to AI. Some of the comments say, this is true. They're using AI to replace a lot of people to lower overall operational costs. I think the world is heading towards a doomsday with the number of people who are going to be jobless. This is exactly what happened to me. So sorry, man. As a friend, yes, you can pay my rent while I get ghosted on 300 applications over the next 9 months. That is so true. But to end on a lighter note,
we are not downsizing, we are right-sizing. We're not having layoffs, we're just restructuring. The company is doing just fine. We are simply matching capacity with demand. This isn't workforce elimination, this is workforce optimization. We are pivoting the company. We are realigning the organization. We are refocusing the product. We aren't having layoffs. This is simply a reduction in force. We are undergoing strategic realignment, which means that some roles may be impacted.
ugh. Some of the comments say, heard that kind of language so many times and have used them myself at some point. Incredibly true. All the buzzwords just make me break out in hives because I'm allergic to corporate BS. When is someone going to make a corporate lingo dictionary? Most useless corporate lingo that has come into our lexicon is right-sizing. And that is going to do it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out one or both of these videos on screen, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!